Hey, Vikings fans, we're going to take a look at Mel Kiper's draft grades for the Vikings coming up on today's show. But we've added a lot of new subs in the last week following the NFL draft, 308 to be exact. First of all, welcome to the channel. We publish multiple videos per week on your Minnesota Vikings. But now I would encourage you guys to turn on those notifications. So once you subscribe, if you haven't already, do so. But once you do, hit that bell icon next to the sub button and then select all. It's going to give you personalized as the default option there once you turn them on. So select all. That way you get sent a notification from YouTube every single time that we publish a video. You don't want to miss any of it, believe me. Go ahead and do that, and let's jump into today's show. The NFL draft is over, and Mel Kiper has unveiled his NFL draft grades for the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham, breaking down Kiper's grade. And what did he give Minnesota? A B-. A lot of B range grades for Kiper this year. A couple of teams in the A category, a couple of teams in the C category. He had Minnesota at a B-. This, of course, was the first draft for the new regime of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell. And, B- based on how he graded a lot of teams, average, below average. I disagree with that. I gave Minnesota a B+. I thought they did pretty well. Here's what Kiper had to say. Quote, Adofo-Mensah's first draft in Minnesota featured some wheeling and dealing as he made trades with the rival Lions, which I liked, and Packers, which I didn't love. The result was two potential starters in the secondary and Lewis Cine at 32, a versatile and thumping safety, and cornerback Andrew Booth Jr. at 42, who was a little inconsistent last season. When Derek Stingley went number 3 overall, that obviously changed things. The plan kind of fell apart a little bit, and there was a lot of buzz that could happen leading up to the draft in that final week, that Stingley could go top 5, top 10. He obviously did. So taking a corner at 12, was a little out of play. I thought Trent McDuffie could be an option there, but they opted not to do that. They moved back. I still think they were able to accomplish what they wanted to, though, and upgrade the secondary. You trade back, you get more capital, you draft Lewis Cine, who I think is a damn good safety. I like Andrew Booth Jr., especially in the second round. He's not Derek Stingley, but considering you got him at 42, I would probably take Stingley at 42 over Booth at 42 over Stingley at 3. So on that side of things, I actually think Minnesota did pretty darn well. And you look at this depth chart now, you don't have that true CB1. Patrick Peterson is not that anymore, but you've got Cameron Dantzler in the mix. You've got Andrew Booth, who ideally will start for you. For now, we have Chandler Sullivan in there as the nickel. I think they've got some moving parts, some depth in the secondary now as well. I think Cine and Booth are guys that should both at least contribute, if not start for this football team, especially Lewis Cine being that first-round pick. So I disagree with the B- from Kiper. I'll give it a B+. We'll get more thoughts from him and my reaction to it throughout this video. But before we do that, who will have the bigger impact this season for Minnesota? Type C for Lewis Cine, type B for Andrew Booth. I think it'll be Lewis Cine, but I think both guys should have a pretty big role. Curious to see what Vikings fans think on this one. Kiper then went on to say, quote, the Vikings reached to try and fill a starting guard spot with Ed Ingram at 59. I thought his strength and mobility was worth an early day 3 pick. Brian Asamoah at 66 is fun, but undersized inside linebacker who will fit their scheme. I will agree with Kiper. Ingram at 59, a little bit early, but I think he still could start. He got some Senior Bowl snaps at center, so maybe he pushes Garrett Bradbury there. At worst, he's a backup guard as a rookie. At best, he starts at guard or at center. Which obviously you do have to figure out center. Could it be Ingram? Will it be Bradbury? Do you go out and sign a J.C. Treader? I think those are all valid questions. He is right. 59 is a bit early. I didn't think it was early enough to go down to a B- grade as a whole. That's why I had B+. But I do think Ingram can be a good player. I like Asamoah. I think he's going to start for this team, especially in 3 linebacker sets. I did not think 66 was too early for him. I think that was proper range. Late second, early mid-third. That's about where he went, early in the third. 3rd round. If you honestly flipped him and Ingram in terms of where they got drafted, I'd actually feel a lot better. Ingram at 66, Asamoah at 59 would have been a little better. But, hey, you got both players, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Vikings fans, where are you guys watching from? Shout out your city, your state, your country, wherever you guys are at. Curious to see where Vikings fans are watching today's video from. I want to know. So shout out your location, and we'll be reading them in the comments section. Kiper went on and said, I didn't see a lot to write home about with their day 3 picks, though running back Ty Chandler has some upside as a pass catcher. The trades helped Adofo-Mensah avoid a C here, and if Booth becomes an above-average rookie starter, it should be even higher. At the end of the day, look, not a lot of flash in this draft, but you didn't need flash. I like Ty Chandler as a day 3 addition. I think Booth and Cine are 2 good picks. Ingram, I think, projects as a starter down the road, if not right away. I think Asamoah is a starter. Think about it. If your first 4 picks become starters, that's a good draft. That's a really good draft. Even if 3 of 4 become starters, it's probably a B+, A-. And if Ty Chandler contributes as your number 2, number 3 back, I think it's a good draft for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Maybe a couple of things could have gone different, but I think B- based on how Kiper graded, a little bit low in my opinion. What do you think was the best value pick for the Vikings in this draft? I'd probably say Booth at 42. I thought he was going to go round 1, so to get him round 2 I think is pretty good. Curious to see it from you guys. The best value pick for the Minnesota Vikings was what this year? So to recap all the picks as a whole, because Kiper didn't discuss all of them. Lewis Cine, Andrew Booth, we've talked about them, number 32, number 42 overall. Ingram and Asamoah at 59 and 66. I like the Akayleb Evans pick. Maybe it was a little early. I thought he'd go around, later round 4, early round 5, but I like the length on him at over 6'1". Esezi Otomewo, the edge out of Minnesota. We'll see what he can do. I like Ty Chandler. Vidarian Lowe out of Illinois. Never a bad thing to draft offensive linemen on day 3. See if they can develop. And then I actually like Jalen Naylor too. Pretty good athlete. And then Nick Muse, the tight end out of South Carolina. And again, you get to round 6, round 7. That really shouldn't impact the team's draft grade because you're kind of just throwing darts at that point in the draft anyway. So I went B+. Kiper went B-. Where do you guys fall in? Grade the Vikings draft here in 2022. Type A, B, C, D, or F. I thought it was a good job by Kwesi and crew for their first time around. All right, that's going to do it for us here at Minnesota Vikings Now by Chat Sports. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys want more videos, be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/Vikings today. We'll have you guys covered with more videos throughout the week and throughout the rest of the offseason. So we'll see you guys soon here on Vikings Now.